Hello friends and welcome to Indian Movie Friend YouTube channel. I'm Ashwini. Recently, actress and director Mrinal Kulkarni visited London. We got an opportunity to discuss her journey as a director and actor. She has worked in Hindi television, Hindi films, Marathi television, Marathi films. She has done lots of announcements which were popular. She is the first Indian woman director to direct a historical film. And that film is Rama.
छान. शनिवार वाडा किती मोठा आहे माहितीये? पण इथे पेशव्यांच्या घरी सुना काम करत नाहीत, काम सांगतात. जो अंबारीत बसे तोच सर्वांना दिसे. ज्या घरात आमच्या शब्दाला किंमत नाही त्या घरात आम्ही एक क्षणही राहणार नाही.
So let's see what all fun we had during this chat. Welcome to London and Indian Movie Friend.
Thank you so much. Hi.
Mrinal, you are a linguistic master's and then you wanted to complete your doctorate and you landed in acting. How is this whole journey?
It so happened we always say it's all written somewhere.
Okay.
When I completed my 10th examination, I was approached by a very big director back then for a role in a historical serial because he wanted a girl of that age. Mm-hmm. And I had never thought of doing anything like that. As I was in school, I used to participate in competitions, and as we all do, but I had never thought of doing something like this. But the role was so good. Mm-hmm. It was a serial based on a very famous literary work called Swami by a very famous writer called Ranjit Desai.
Okay.
So it was such a great opportunity for me. So there was no question of saying no. So in a way, maybe it was written in my destiny, and I was approached. I did that role. Actually, I was very scared because I was the youngest, mm-hmm. and all the other actors were veteran actors. And but I was an enthusiast, and I thought I should do it. My family backed me, and at the age of 16, I did my first.
16 is
now you don't feel that is young because you have we have all sorts of television shows and the.
And what year was that when you started?
That was you'll come to know my age.
Oh.
No worry, it was 1990.
Okay.
89-90, and I became a very popular face on the first day of the serial when it was telecasted because A, it was a very famous book, B, it was a very prestigious project, and C, I was fit for the role, and maybe I did a good job. So that was my entry to this world, and I was a very padaku student. My parents were into education. My Nanaji was a very he was a great writer. And novelist from Marathi, and the whole environment in my house was a very padaku.
Okay.
So even I was a very straight padaku student. I used to learn dancing and singing, and I used to paint, but this was not my focus. But as I said, it was written, and it happened.
Yes. So you belong to the first row of the school where all this padaku students
completely.
And coming to the point where you said that your Nanaji, your grandfather, he's a well-known writer, Gopal Nilkant Dandekar, and he has written lots of novels, historical books.
Yes.
So did this historical books help you to portray the role which you have played, the one which you made a debut?
I always say it's all in my genes,
yeah.
Because my grandfather was a writer, and he was a historian too. And if you have a close look at my career, whatever roles I have done on television or on big screen are very closely related to either literature or history. So we can say whatever I have inherited, I'm trying to give justice to that. Because even I have done my master's in linguistics, that is study of languages, so closely related to literature and language and all. Be it my first role, Swami, which was based on a novel. Then I did a Hindi show, my first Hindi show called Shrikant with Farooq Sheikh and Irfan Khan.
Oh yes.
Immediately after Swami, again that was a literary piece by Sharath Chandra Chatterjee, the great Bengali literary figure. After that I did a serial called Hasrate, which was very, very famous on ZTV. Again, it was written by a great writer from Marathi, Avantika. It was based on that. I did a serial called Draupadi, history, mythology, history, and Udiya Jnanpith Award winner.
Yep.
Draupadi. So, and I always took pride in doing historical shows, because all my contemporary actresses, they were little hesitant about accepting any historical characters, but I always took pride. Because of that, I could study history more, and I really enjoyed playing larger than life characters from history. I really love.
So the characters which you have already read in history books, and now you're portraying that. For example, you've done like Ahilya Bai, Jizabai, and then you've done Rama Bai. You've done Marathi serials like Avantika. All of these were women-centric based. So a serial or the film which is based on women, how did this change your life as a woman?
First of all, I have never accepted any role in which the character I portray cries a lot.
That's excellent.
Because I like tough women, and I like women who fight. But that doesn't mean for television or for any character, for any role, if you want to portray a good role, you are supposed to be a little vulnerable in the beginning, and then you grow. As you grow as a person, the character also has to grow from vulnerability to a strong womanhood. So I was very, very keen that whatever I choose and whatever I perform should fall in that category. So I did some very strong roles, barring a few fantasy characters. I enjoyed doing Draupadi. I strongly believe it is one of the phenomenal characters from Indian mythology. And the way that book is written and the way Draupadi was portrayed, it was not about that Draupadi who got married to five Pandavas. That we can't deny, but it was about her strength. It was about her being center of the Mahabharata. It was about her being the gravity of the entire Mahabharata and the youth. So it was a feminist book, and it was a feminist television serial. I have been fortunate enough to have played different roles on small screens. So many a times people ask me, didn't you miss doing Hindi films? And my firm answer is no, because the kind of roles I could portray on television, many social roles, be it Sparsh or Teacher or Hasrate for that matter, they were very different from each other. Every time I kind of portrayed a woman who is vulnerable, later on she becomes strong.
I remember your Hasrate role as well. I'm watching that. Coming to the other actresses like Madhuri Dixit, and you have started your career together, and she moved.
Really? No, she's easier to me.
Actually moved towards glamorous, and you have such a beautiful, gorgeous face, and you have always given the historical, strong woman. And didn't you ever thought of moving to the more of the gorgeous or the Hindi films?
Let me take the pleasure of saying I have done many better roles than Madhuri. Because when you belong to that kind of cinema and the glamour world, most of the times you do the prototypes. Most of the times, because your aim is something else, and she must have wanted to become a dharkan of like crores of them. I never had that intention. I wanted to play strong characters. I wanted to do meaningful things.
And you have inspired a whole lot of women back in India.
Oh, really?
Yes, I know.
Oh, thank you.
Even when we used to watch television, and we have seen you portraying the strong women, and Avantika was one of my favorite series. I've been watching it for a long time.
So there is a difference between dancing around the trees and portraying strong women, or giving something back to the society to think. So that was my choice.
And is Mrinal as strong, as contented, or is she emotional, what she has been portraying on the screen or what she is in real life?
Oh, Mrinal is a mixture of everything.
That's
Every woman is. I'm not. I don't think I'm that strong because I have portrayed the characters which are much stronger than me.
Okay.
But as an actor, you're not supposed to be a strong person because you have to adapt so many things and you have to get in the skin of so many characters. So you have to be flexible. You have to be. You have to have a lot of empathy. So that you can become somebody, and I believe as an actor that is the most important thing which happens to any actor. You can live so many lives in one life.
And
so
does
you
it
can
happen-
become Avantika, you can become Draupadi, you can become Jizabai, you can become Sonpari, and then you can become Rama and whatever.
So all these characters, do you carry these characters when you're in the skin of these characters?
No,
Do they
I
come
don't-
with
I
you
don't
in the
carry back
house?
them in. No.
They're left behind. The moment you leave the set, you're
Yes,
back to
because
Mrinal.
I have done a lot of television as an actor, and at one time it so happens there are 4 shows are going on,
Yeah.
and then you can't be a Sompari on the sets of Avantika,
Yeah.
and then you can't do a Draupadi on the sets of Shrikant and things.
And coming to Sonpari, you have done lots of Hindi serials, and Sonpari has been for a longer time on television, especially with kids and children.
Yes.
They has been like, oh, look at Sonpari. So has it ever happened that you're walking on the road, on the airports, in the malls, and children just look, mommy, she's Sonpari. They're coming and hugging you, and their mummies are, oh my god, you know she loves you, she admires you. Did it happen to you?
Yeah, it does. But fortunately, I have done so many roles and so many different roles. I really feel very nice when people call me by different names because all of them, they are residing in this Mrinal Kulkarni. I'll tell you one very nice, very funny incident. Initially, when I started working, especially at the times of Asrati, because that was my first big hit. People used to call me Asmita, and they used to, hey, Asmita, Asmita. And I used to feel why they are calling me Asmita. I used to tell them very promptly, my name is Mrinal Kulkarni. You better remember me by Mrinal Kulkarni. I realized it later that if they call me Asmita, that means they are believing in some entity called Asmita Saxena,
Which is actually not there.
which is actually not there. If they call me Avantika Jagirdar, then they really believe for that period of time ki I am Avantika Jagirdar.
Yeah.
So then I started feeling proud about myself as an actor. For that limited period of time, if somebody calls me by some name, so maybe I'm doing a good job.
And you're successful portraying that character.
Yeah, 2 years back I portrayed Shivaji Maharaj's mother, Jizabai Sahib, in Raja Shiva Chhatrapati, and it's such a strong character. I studied hard for that, and I think I have done a good job. And wherever I go in Maharashtra, people do mudra to me outside. And then I, hello, but I feel nice.
Yeah.
I really feel nice. When I portrayed Sonpari, that was the weirdest thing which used to happen to me anywhere. Even in normal attire, I used to go here and there, and children used to come and say, Sonpari auntie, jadoo karo na. And I was like, jadoo karo na. I can't do jadoo.
You had that magical band with you all the time. Saying,
No.
okay.
I would have been in real trouble if you had that. But I experienced a few very strange things, strange in a good way. Once I was shooting at Panchgani for Sonpari, at Sonpari, and I always used to tell my makeup person and my hairdresser and my assistant कि जब shot ready है तभी मेरे को बाहर बुलाना, otherwise I'll sit in the vanity van, because in that Sonpari attire then people come and then funny हो जाता है ना. So but once there were 2 children who were waiting outside my vanity van for a long time, and son was like the boy was like 7-8 years old, and he had his sister with him. She was 10 years old, and they were waiting, and then finally my makeup man, he called him inside and he said कि मैम ये बहुत देर इंतजार कर रहा है, इसके साथ एक बात करो ना. And when they saw me, they were like, and
you must have loved the expressions, the way.
Yeah,
you know.
and the boy started crying.
Oh my God.
And I was what?
Huh?
तो फिर मैंने उसको बिठाया, and then I gave him ice cream and I asked him what happened, beta, tell me. And he really believed that
You are a fairy.
yeah, I'm a fairy. And he complained to me because my sister was in hostel, my parents have put me in the hostel, but both of us, we don't like it here, please हमें यहाँ से उड़ा के ले जाओ.
Oh my God.
And I felt so bad for them. I felt सच्ची में अगर परी बन जाऊँ थोड़ी देर के लिए तो
I could have really fulfilled that wish.
Yeah.
That must be amazing.
Another thing is I received a lot of fan following for Sonpari.
So
And it's like
mummies were also there with kids.
Yeah.
Similar.
At times fathers were also there. And one such father was Shah Rukh Khan.
Oh.
So Aryan's 5th birthday, he had called me.
Sonpari.
Yeah, Sonpari is the guest of the evening and all. I have got a fan following from many countries and especially from Pakistan. I have a huge fan following there
And
because of
they're
Sonpari.
watching the Sonpari.
They used to watch
The kids
Sonpari.
and moms and dads
yeah.
and families.
And one of the letters says, so, dear Sonpari, I know you cannot visit my country, and maybe I won't be able to visit your country ever in my life, but you'll always be in our dreams.
That must be emotional for you.
Yeah, very. Practically, you feel as an actor there are no bindings, but you can't visit everybody.
Yeah. But certain times you have to be in the limits and you have to maintain that. Right, now coming to your direction, Mrinal, you have written and directed movies, and your first baby as a director is Prem Manje Premusta. After that, you're the first Indian woman to direct a historical film like Rama. What all preparations were required? What pre-production things you have been doing for a long time?
See,
how did it go?
After being an actor for 20 years, I thought I should grow as a human being. I always used to write, so I always thought maybe I can do this.
You're coming from a background where your grandfather is a writer.
Yeah, and I used to write for magazines, and I was a guest editor to supplements of newspapers, and occasionally I used to write here and there. But I always thought as an actor we always recite the dialogues and then we present it. We present it convincingly so that people feel that I'm that character.
Yeah.
I portray somebody else's thoughts through my character, and then people think those are my thoughts or that character's thoughts. But what exactly I think, what exactly I believe, what exactly I want to say to people
Will come through your direction.
Yeah, it will only come through my direction, because I wanted to make a movie.
Yeah.
Always. I was always interested in being behind the camera. So I started writing and I wrote, and I'm extremely happy I could write about the changing status of marriage and love, because we keep on sending WhatsApp jokes to each other about marriage and about nagging wives and silly husbands and all that. But marriage as an institution has got much more to that. And I always felt there are 4 generations present at one time. One is like our parent generation, one is our generation, one is generation younger than us, and then the children who are watching all this. They are watching the divorces, they are watching people who fall for each other, they are watching extramarital relationships, they are watching divorces happening, they are watching their nana nanis and dada dadis and their take on marriage, and most importantly they are watching many social serials, television shows, daily soaps which are going on, and they comment a lot on marriage as an institution all the time, and the statements are funny, if I may say it.
So you portrayed the relationship of Rama and Madhav.
No, I'm talking of my first film, Prem Manje Premusta. So I tried to write all this Premasla. Different people looking at marriage and love from different perspectives, right from the children to the elderly people. After that, film was successful, and I must thank my audience and people who follow me right from the beginning. The film was with subtitles, and I was a little skeptical because in thinking it was a little bold film. So I thought maybe may not be how people will take it, because it was too personal. Many things which we talk in our bedrooms, which we talk in our kitchens, and many such subjects which are taboos were discussed in that film in a very subtle way, but they were discussed. But people liked it, and then I was very happy. And I was extremely happy when the same producer called me up and said, let's make another one. So I was like, oh my god, normally producer or director ek dusre ka chehra bhi nahi dekhte after the film. You want to make another film with me. And I threw a few ideas to him, and he said, nahi, kuch acha, kuch aur. And then this topic was in my mind for a long time. From the time I portrayed Rama as a very young actor.
You made your debut.
Yeah, that was my debut as an actor. And but from that time I used to feel that character hasn't got the importance she deserves. So I tried to write about that period of history through the eyes of a young girl who got married at the age of 5, and then she came to a family of warriors of Bajirao Peshwa. She was a daughter-in-law to Bajirao Peshwa, and from a small poor family she came to Shaniwarwada, and she fell in love with her husband at a very young age, and he was everything to her. He was her god, he was her friend, he was her philosopher. And he died at the age of 26, and this poor girl at the age of 21, she went sati with him. So I found a beautiful love story between them, and I thought this is a love story which I must tell to people. There was a personal motive, no doubt about it, but I am born and brought up in Pune. I'm a Pune girl. Yeah. I am born in Maharashtra, and the piece of this history has happened in Pune. So it's my town's story. It is the history of Pune, where I am born and brought up, and still that Shaniwarwada is there, the huge thing. And I thought, I must tell this story to the world.
Yeah, and talking about the characters, the costumes, the jewelry, the set, which was at Kazan, all these things were huge. So you have some funny incidents happening on the set?
Many. When you do a historical, anything historical, Ashwini, it is very tough. And I have portrayed many historical characters, but it never occurred to me that it might be very tough. The most tough thing which I dealt with during shooting of Rama Madhav is getting 100 horses together.
Oh, that was a big task.
That was a very big task. And as you mentioned, I never thought of this project as I'm the first one who's directing a historical. It never occurred to me. I never thought about it. I was very passionate. I am very passionate about history, so I was very passionate about this story in particular. And I just wrote it. And I always felt while shooting, as a writer, you write anything. Yeah. Then just pen and a paper. And you start writing, you start thinking. And when you actually start shooting, then bolte na Bhagwan yaad aata hai. Every day it was the same case. I was very happy and very excited about two things. One is my fight master, Ravi Diwan, who has done more than 200 films as a fight master. He's a 6 feet 4 inches. And second was Nitin Desai as a set designer. So these two people were with me all the time, and they helped me a lot. The most important person whose blessings were with me was Baba Saheb Purandare, who was a great historian from Maharashtra. So there was no mistake in my script, and I was extremely happy. I worked for 8 months for the script. I studied so many books. Unfortunately, Peshwa history is not that ancient history.
So you got all the information.
Papers.
And so, so talking about multi-stars, you had so many stars on the set.
There was Sonali Kulkarni and Shruti Marathe and Prasad.
I read somewhere that Sonali, she couldn't walk with the jewelry she was wearing, and she was just sitting down.
And that was so authentic, because the character she portrayed, Anandi Bai, she was a diva of that time, and she used to design her own paithanis and jewelries.
Okay.
And it is said that she used to wear 32 jewelry pieces at one time, and all pure gold, and she was unable to walk. That much of gold she used to wear, and it was the case with Sonali, because she's such a fragile girl, and she just couldn't walk.
Heavy costumes and jewelry. And what is the actors, did they ask you, the other female, she's wearing lots of jewelries, or the other characters who couldn't wear a jewelry, and they asked you, can you just have a picture?
Plenty of jewelry, so so uski kameez meri kameez se sabhe.
You never had that.
I always told them, choose whatever you want and wear as much jewelry as you want.
Okay, so they really enjoyed all those luxuries coming from Peshwa Parivar. And you have done lots of Hindi, lots of Marathi. Is there any character you thought, Mrinal, that this is something missing and I have to portray this character on screen, let it be silver screen or television?
I haven't portrayed Ashwini as yet.
So that's a compliment for me, and yes, we'll sit together for that.
I always feel every person I meet is a book, and he or she, they have their own story, right? So there are crores of people around, and everybody has a story.
Has their own journey and story.
Yes. So there is no limit. But in person, I would like to play Anna Karenine, written by Tolstoy.
Yes, and all the best, and we'll think that we are going to have you in that character. Now, coming to your background, you come from a family where both your parents have been professors. If you were not an actress, and if you would have been a professor, I don't think any of your students would have ever bunked the class, and they would have requested you, ma'am, can we have extra lectures?
Now I take that as a compliment, but it's not a good one, because my job would have been teaching people.
But to have gorgeous professors like you, I mean, it would have been lovely to teach students.
Thank you.
And coming to your family, your better half, he is a criminal lawyer, Shivaji Kulkarni, and you are a gorgeous actress. A criminal lawyer and a gorgeous actress.
It's a strange combination, isn't it?
Yes, it is. How did this happen?
Because we met when we were very, very, very young. We were family friends, and we grew up together. And he's my biggest supporter. He is my backbone. He's he's the one who criticizes me the most, the best critic of my life.
So you don't need
he doesn't like anybody, anything that I do, and he always feels there is still scope for growth. But having said that, he really has been of great help to me. He only insisted that I should graduate from an actor to a director, and he's keen that I should pursue being a director.
So as we say that every successful man has a supporter, his better half. So your better half has been with you, and that's the reason you have been successful.
I strongly believe that times have changed, and that is what I wanted to say in my first film, that marriage is a very important institution, and in that both the people should grow together. Only then the marriage is happy. Otherwise there is no fun. So there is no a woman behind a man and a man behind a woman. We should walk hand in hand.
Yeah, it's more about being together, growing together. And your son, Rajas, what about him? Is he into father's side being a lawyer, or he wants to be in your industry?
Yeah, my son's name is Virajas, and he recently completed post-graduation from Subhash Guy's Whistling Woods, which is an international school for filmmaking.
Okay,
So he's in my side.
So you have two directors in the house, and I must compliment you, Mrinal. You don't look like a mom of postgraduates.
Oh, he's my husband's son.
So when you have two directors in the house, so does it happen in the morning on the like coffee time or tea time, and you both of you
All the
start
time we are discussing films. All
And
the time.
what about your husband?
My husband belongs to theatre.
Okay.
He has a background of theatre, and my father-in-law, he was a Marathi film actor, and he was director All India Radio Pune.
Okay.
So he also is an.
So you have all the
actor.
filmy atmosphere
Yes.
and discussions and
All the
opinions.
discussions, opinions, and fights.
Fights
and-
about I love this actor or this actor. So
No, it's not about loving actors. It's about how the film is made,
Making.
and what is the technique, and what is the story, and how you can shoot it, and it's fun. It's a huge fun.
So with two directors in the house and being Marathi actress, you've worked a lot in Marathi as well. Marathi cinemas, it has been experimenting a lot. with
Yes,
that.
absolutely.
And they have chosen different variations of subjects, different genres. What is your say about that?
I'm extremely happy to be in Marathi film industry at the right time, when Marathi films are growing in the number,
Yeah.
content, and technique, all of it. When I started my career as an actor, I chose television over Marathi films at that time, because Marathi films were only entertaining Marathi films at that time, and my choice was something different. So I was knowingly I stayed away from Marathi films for a long time, but now it is a wonderful phase for Marathi films. Marathi films are going to Oscars and Cannes, and good business, definitely good content, different subjects, presentation wise, technically it has been really nice.
And the new generation of
people
actors
are talking about Marathi film all over. Also, subtitles are helping a lot. So a non-Marathi audience also is attracted towards Marathi cinema. I think it's a golden period.
Yeah, and so that's the major point of attracting the non-Maharashtrian people for Marathi cinema, because it's being experimented.
Definitely.
Okay, and what do you say about the new generation, the new generation of actresses, how they have been doing?
They're very good, and I'm a Pune girl, and I'm extremely happy that a lot of Pune young girls and boys are coming to Bombay now, and they have a strong theatre base, and they are very good actors. Look at my Rama and Madhav.
Yeah.
First film for both of them, and they really did wonderful jobs, and there are so many guys.
And we really loved your Rama Madhav movie. It's an excellent and outstanding movie with your hard work and the excellent multi-star cast you had.
Thank you.
Yeah, with this I would like to ask you, what's your upcoming project now?
See, I'm working as an actor. I have I've been a really fortunate person, because still I'm pursuing my career as an actor.
Okay.
And when I think I'm ready for my new directorial venture, I keep my acting assignments aside, and then I get into direction. So I've been lucky. I just finished one film as an actor, which is being produced by Eros International. It's called And.
So is it a Hindi film? Or
No, it's a Marathi film, but
Okay.
the name is in English. It's And.
Okay.
And I just completed that, just finished dubbing, and I'm here, and I'm working on 2 subjects, and I am very happy to say that there is a strong connection of London
That's
to
lovely.
both the subjects. So
we'll be
I
waiting.
can't tell you more than this.
Okay,
right
no
now.
worries. We'll be waiting for the upcoming project, whatever it is, and we will really wish you luck. And do you have advice for the viewers about cinemas or the?
Yes, definitely. I have an advice for all the people who love watching films. Watch as many films as you can, and grow as a movie lover, because movie is a medium of entertainment, but not only entertainment. Entertainment is much more to that. Watch films, regional films, international films, and be happy. Happy viewing.
Yeah, so thank you, Mrinal. I really had a very lovely time with you.
Same here, Ashwini.
I really enjoyed the chat, and thank you for the lovely advice. We are going to follow that.
Yes.
And before we just end the interview, we have a small and lovely gift for you from our team, that is Indian Movie Friends.
Thank you
This is
so
for you.
much. Thank you so much, Indian Movie Friends.
And
And
all
it
the
was
best.
lovely talking to the viewers and lovely talking to you too.
Same here. All the best for your future. Thank you.
Hi, this is Mrinal Kulkarni. Subscribe to the channel Indian Movie Friend. Like it, share it, comment on it. Be quick.